Pablo Picasso. For my final project, I chose an artist I've heard so much about ever since elementary school. That is Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso, born October 25th, 1881 in Malaga, Spain, was, and to this day, still is, one of the most notorious and influential artists of all time. He was a painter, sculptor, printmaker, ceramist, stage designer, poet, and playwright, but known mostly for his beautiful paintings. Picasso had his claim to fame in the 20th century where he co-founded the Cubist movement. The Cubist movement is an avant-garde art movement that revolutionized European paintings and sculptures. But before I go into grave detail about Pablo's most famous works, I'd like to tell you a little bit about his life. Picasso was the firstborn child to José Ruiz y Blasco and Maria Picasso y Lopez. He had two sisters. He was baptized as a Catholic, but later became atheist. His family was from a middle-class background, and his father was also an artist. At 7 years old, his father started to give him lessons on oil paintings and figure drawings. Later that year, Pablo began to train under his father. At just 13, Picasso was admitted into a fine arts academy after taking 1 week to complete an advanced course that took most adult students an entire month. In 1895, Picasso's 7-year-old sister died and his family relocated to Barcelona. At 16, Picasso's uncle and father decided to send him to Madrid's Royal Academy at San Fernando. Pablo set off for the first time on his own, but found that he disliked formal instruction and stopped attending classes soon after enrollment. During this time, Picasso admired the works of El Greco, and he often echoed his work in his own paintings. Elements such as elongated limbs, arresting colors, and mystical visages. Picasso's progress can be traced in the collection of early works now held by the Museum Picasso in Barcelona. Some of Pablo's most famous works are The Old Guitarist, made in 1904, Proto-Cubist, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon in 1907, Le Rêve in 1932, Guernica in 1937, and The Weeping Woman also in 1937. Along with some of Pablo's most famous works are some of his most famous time periods. The Blue Period in 1901 to 1904 was characterized by somber paintings in shades of blue and green, only occasionally warmed by other colors. This began in Spain in the early 1901. Gaunt mothers with children, prostitutes, and beggars are all subjects used from the Blue Period. Picasso was influenced by a trip through Spain and by the suicide of his friend Carlos. The Rose Period is characterized by a happier style with orange, red, and pink colors. It lasted from 1904 to 1906. It featured many circus people, acrobats, and harlequins. He was influenced by more happier times due to him being in a relationship with Ferdinand Oliver, whom he met in 1904 and even proposed to. She refused him due to the fact she was already married, but she later became his mistress for the next 9 years. The African period, lasting from 1907 to 1909, resulted in pictorial flatness, vivid color, and fragmented cubist shapes, which helped to define early modernism. Every African sculpture they encountered, they instantly recognized the spiritual aspect and the consumption that adapted these qualities to their own efforts to move beyond the naturalism that had defined Western arts since the Renaissance. Analytic Cubism lasting from 1909 to 1912, characterized by fragmentary appearance of multiple viewpoints and overlapping planes. It was created by Picasso and Barque to refer to real objects in terms of identifiable details. Fun facts and beliefs. Picasso's full name is 23 words. Pablo Diego Jose Francisco de Paulo Juan Nepomuceno Maria de los Remedios Cipriano de la Stencimia Trinidad Martiar Patricio Slito Ruiz y Picasso. He was named after various Christian saints and relatives. His last name is his mother's maiden name, not his father's last name. Some of his beliefs are: bad artists copy, good artists steal. Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. Action is the foundational key to all success. Everything you can imagine is real. And last but not least, colors, like features, follow the changes of the emotions.